Fuck Fortnite, nigga.
This is Blackout. What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and regardless if you like Fortnite, I do think we have to give the game credit for finally pushing Sony to drop their ego and to allow for cross-platform gameplay between PlayStation 4 and all other platforms. Yes, Fortnite did have cross-plat with just about every platform except the PlayStation 4, because Sony originally had said that they thought the PlayStation 4 was the best place to play. But now it seems Sony has changed their mind, and it's official. Fortnite will have cross-platform gameplay with all platforms as of now, and I think that is awesome, because for the future of the gaming industry, this is huge. And obviously you guys know where I'm going with this. There is potential for cross-platform gameplay with Blackout. So obviously nothing's been confirmed as of right now, but I'm sure you guys are already creating theories. You've probably seen other videos talking about this topic, and to be quite honest with you, I'm not pushing for cross-platform with multiplayer and zombies. I'm kind of just pushing it for Blackout because I do think it would be appropriate in terms of matchmaking. But honestly, if we did see cross-platform gameplay for every mode in Black Ops 4 this year, I would be extremely grateful, and honestly we could thank Fortnite for that. Even though I don't like that game, I would have to give that game credit for pushing Sony to actually allow something so massive. But if we only see cross-platform gameplay for Blackout this year, I'll still be really excited about that. I do think matchmaking and balancing and updating, I think all of that would benefit from cross-platform gaming. Now, aside from that, I also wanted to make this video to kind of throw in my 2 cents on Blackout as a whole. I didn't really do a general review of this massive game mode. I kind of covered that while I was live streaming. I kind of gave away all of my thoughts and provided feedback, but I'll probably repeat myself just a little bit here in this video, towards the end of it at least. We're also going to be talking about Bunting, who recently came out and said that there was never a campaign to begin with within Black Ops 4, which kind of raises the question, what was Treyarch doing for 3 years? We do know a majority of development time goes to a campaign, then a lot of assets are reused when it comes to the multiplayer and zombies development side of things. But we're looking at Black Ops 4 here, and what could have possibly took 3 years? You know, I'm gonna say that they were working on zombies for a while, because once again, we have 4 experiences on launch. They couldn't do that in 3 or 4 months, so maybe at most I would say 9 to 12 months on zombies. That's what I'm gonna assume right now, but we know for a fact the multiplayer didn't get that much time, and we can tell the beta definitely shows that. Even though the gameplay was phenomenal, I had a blast, I could see that there's a lot of room for improvement, and with the amount of multiplayer maps that are currently confirmed, I just don't think that that took 3 years to make. Now, we don't have an official map count, we do have an estimate, and we did see some footage of 2 other maps within the recent trailer that they put out, so I'm gonna assume we're possibly at 13 or 14, not exactly sure, but there was a leak a while ago talking about, I believe, 17 multiplayer maps at launch, and some of the names that were apparently found in the PC files sounded fake, so I'm not really on board with that yet. You guys can let me know what you think of that old leak down below in the comments section, but we'll have to see whether or not we see that many maps at launch. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like any of these modes really took that long to make, and the reason I didn't even mention Blackout yet is because Van der Haar and many of the staff over at Treyarch have confirmed as of recently that yes, they had the blueprints for Blackout around a year ago, but development didn't really start until maybe a little while before the official reveal of Black Ops 4. So with that being said, we have that information right in front of us. What the hell took 3 years to make? Now, I'll just be honest with you and say, look, Bunting, David Van der Haar, any of the staff over at Treyarch, they can't really come out and be honest. Legally, they can't say certain things, so we can't accuse them of lying, but it's kind of a PR bullshit kind of situation here where there may be more to the truth but legally, on paper, they're not allowed to say that. So of course, when they're interviewed by Game Informer and many other companies, they're gonna have to look as innocent as possible and say, you know what, we decided we didn't want a campaign very early on. We wanted this game to be a massive social experience, so we stuck with that. And then you think about that, you're like, okay, we know a lot of development time still went to Black Ops 3 even after the main launch of that game. Obviously, it's core DLC season. We had a DLC 5 and 6. Consistent multiplayer updates with the black market and weapons. We know some dev time still went to Black Ops 3, but what the fuck happened to Black Ops 4? So obviously we can go on for a long time here in this video theorizing on what exactly they were doing, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. Look, there's more to the truth and they're just not allowed to say it, bottom line. Now, I also wanted to bring up the graphics in Blackout. During the beta, I saw a lot of people criticizing how the game actually looked, and I understand the game runs at 1080p on the PS4 Pro, 900p on the standard PS4, and there's a similar difference when it comes to the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S or the launch Xbox One. I understand that. Obviously, the PC killed it. It was running, I think, at around, I want to say 90 frames. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but it is getting pushed to around 130 or 40 by the time the game actually launches. So the specs aren't the best. I am aware of that, and I do understand why that's the case. Even though the frame rate is also iffy, here's the thing. Blackout Battle Royale is a massive game mode to accommodate for the crazy player count, the crazy amount of RNG, the vehicles, the amount of weapons, the zombies spawning in. To account for all of that in a massive game mode on the Call of Duty engine, they're going to have to sacrifice beautiful graphics, and they're going to have to live with putting that down just a little bit just to ensure there is a balanced experience. So even though my answer is pretty simple when it comes to that argument, I am gonna say zombies is obviously gonna be the best looking mode at launch, as it usually is. Multiplayer will probably look a little bit better than it did in the beta, but I still think it'll look roughly the same, if not almost the same as Blackout. Now, once again, I'm not too big on graphics. I'm not gonna complain. I have a PS4 Pro, and I'm perfectly fine with what I played during the Blackout beta. I have my saturation settings tweaked using my Elgato, so I make the game look as beautiful as I can. Other people obviously don't have that privilege, and I do understand you don't like that gray skybox looking shit. It looks like a PS3 game. I understand that, and honestly, you can't expect too much when it comes to the graphics, because once again, Treyarch has not been allowed to work with a different engine other than the one that they have, and you can blame Activision for that 100%. Now, there is probably more to that answer that I personally don't know, since I'm not a developer, but I am assuming in given time we will get a better answer from either Treyarch, maybe even someone over at Blizzard, as to why they had to kind of downscale a lot of those core graphics in game. But I think for the amount of time they supposedly worked on Blackout, it looked pretty damn good and played pretty damn well. But that's about it for the core topics here in this video. In terms of my initial review of Blackout, as I mentioned many times on stream, I did 2 pretty long streams, by the way, during the actual beta. I thought the gameplay was extremely fun, very addicting with friends. I think there is so much potential this year for collaborations, making goofy series, funny moments that you had, going for dubs in different ways. There's just so much you can do, and even though I was never a big Battle Royale guy, I can definitely see myself taking a break from this at certain points in time this year while I play multiplayer and zombies, but I can also see myself maximizing the amount of replayability and making different videos here on my channel and different series of streams here with you guys. I can definitely see that very clearly, on top of the confirmation from Treyarch that we're going to be seeing seasonal events, updates to the map, and different features at launch. There's just so much going on, and I can't wait to start tackling it on October the 12th. So I could say, hey, even though I'm not a big Battle Royale guy, I could see some massive potential for some growth here once the game officially comes out. Now, I think weapon balancing and tweaking and bug fixing all speaks for itself, as we did see plenty of hot fixes over the course of the beta, and obviously things like footsteps weren't exactly fixed to our liking, but I do think by the time the game comes out, they're obviously going to tackle that to ensure that we're actually playing a legitimate boots on the ground Call of Duty where we can hear people's footsteps and we can understand what exactly is going on in terms of the audio. But I think visually we'll probably get a little bit better by the time the game comes out. As I said, PC is getting a boost with frames when it comes out, but in terms of graphics, we may see something better, might not. It is okay. But I think overall we do have those leaks to go on, which I covered quite a while ago, actually way before the Blackout launch trailer came out for the beta. There are a lot of leaks in terms of vehicles, weapons, and equipment, things that are going to be in Blackout, which obviously weren't featured in the beta for a reason, which will be featured at launch, allowing us to experiment with a lot of new things. So overall, addicting experience, loving it with friends, getting dubs is extremely fun, and I could see this as like a cool off time after playing zombies for a while or multiplayer consistently. This is fun as fuck, and everybody knows it. A lot of people who weren't even Call of Duty fans tried Blackout and loved it, so I am really excited to see what Treyarch has to bring to the table over the course of Black Ops 4's DLC season. But this has been dkdynamite. Really hope you've enjoyed. Leave all your thoughts and feedback down below in the comment section, and stay tuned in for the latest information in regards to Black Ops 4. I'm hoping for a classified trailer really soon. I'll be doing a live reaction for that, and I have a couple more Black Ops 4 videos scheduled just before the official launch of the game. And peace out, everybody.